Welcome back to 5 Min As, the series where we recap your favorite games in just 5 minutes. As you know, 5 Min As stands for 5 minutes of the storyline or 5 minutes of spoilers. In this episode, we will be covering Ori and the Blind Forest, developed by Moon Studios and published by Microsoft Studios. You've probably heard a lot about Ori D, but did you know that it has won itself the Golden Joystick Awards 2015 for Best Audio and Xbox Game of the Year? At the Game Awards 2015, it has also won Best Art Direction and 20 other award nominations.
The BAFTA for Artistic Achievement goes to Ori and the Blind Forest.
Well known for its beautiful visuals and soundtrack, how will the storyline of this game match up to that standard? Is it an original one? We'll find out soon. Let's get right on into it. Dramatic transition. The game starts off with a beautiful creature in the forest of Nibel. Okay, just kidding. The game starts off with a haunting narration by the voice of the spirit tree in the forest of Nibel. Here we first see Ori, a guardian spirit who fell from the tree during a storm as a newborn. Ori was then adopted by a creature named Naru who lovingly raised Ori as her own. A cataclysmic event soon makes all of the forest wither, and Naru heartbreakingly dies of starvation. Newly orphaned and helpless, Ori is left to explore the forest on their own. After collapsing near the spirit tree, Ori was thought to be dead. Upon their death, something magical happens. Sensing that his child has fallen, the spirit tree uses the last of his strength and light to revive Ori. It's at that moment when Ori meets Sane, a small orc who guides Ori on a journey to restore the forest. Ori then finds out the reason for Nibel's decay. During the light ceremony that was intended to call for Ori to return, the spirit tree and Ori's kin were attacked by an evil force, Kuro. She stole Sane from the spirit tree's branches and disrupted the balance of the three elements of light, throwing Nibel into chaos. Now Ori must recover the light of three main elements that support Nibel's balance. They are waters, winds, and warmth, which can be found in the Ginso tree, Forlorn Ruins, and Mount Horu, respectively. During the journey to restore the element of waters, Ori encounters Gumo, the last survivor of the spider-like Gumon clan who were wiped out by the forest cataclysm. Ori initially fights through many of Gumo's traps in order to take back the water vein, but Gumo returns it after Ori saves him from a rock slide. As the element of waters is restored, Kuro appears to kill Ori, and Ori is thrown off the tall Ginso tree. Fortunately, Gumo saves Ori in the nick of time. Following the pair inside, Gumo is shocked and saddened to find the rest of his kind frozen to death after a terrible cold swept through. Gumo, mourning, overheard Sane's plans to honor the memory of lost Gumon whilst rekindling the element. After an epiphany, Gumo decides to give his clan treasure that stores the light from the spirit tree to revive Naru. With that, the pair set off into the forest to find Ori. On the other hand, as Ori and Sane travel, they find themselves in Kuro's nest. The nest, surprisingly, was empty, except for a single egg. It was then that they uncovered the truth behind Kuro's attack on the spirit tree. Dating back to the light ceremony, the spirit tree released a flash of light to look for Ori, but it had accidentally burned and killed all of Kuro's recently hatched offspring when she was away from the nest, looking for food. In a fury, determined to prevent this from happening to her yet unborn child, Kuro took away the core on top of the spirit tree, which is actually Sane. Without its core, the spirit tree could not sustain the three elements, and thus Nibel lost its balance. At this moment, Kuro herself then emerges and Ori flees at once. After the final element, warmth, is restored in the volcano Mount Horu, Kuro attacks Ori and Sein yet again as the fire from Horu starts to spread. Naru arrives just in time to protect Ori from Kuro, and in that very moment, Kuro softens, remembering the pain of losing her children and realizing the monster that she had become. The fire spreads and is about to reach her remaining egg. Kuro rushes, taking Sein back to the spirit tree, which emits a flash of bright light that dissipates the fire and restores the forest. But unfortunately, Kuro was destroyed by the light. Time passes and the forest begins to flourish once more. In the final scenes, Ori watches new spirits being born in the field at the foot of the spirit tree. Gumo and Naru watch together from afar before the latter goes home, where Kuro's last egg now rests, just in time to see it before it hatches. The end, and that was a beautiful 5 minutes. Now it is time for everyone's favorite part of the video, the moral of the story. Though it's easy to villainize people and characters for their bad actions, I believe it is better that we understand and empathize with them a little more. Learning their side of their story, their backgrounds, as well as the reasons behind their actions is what makes us good beings. Remember, Kuro destroyed the forest in a furious revenge after the death of her hatchlings. It wasn't pure evil. So what I'm trying to say here is that the thought process of both animals and humans are actually similar. Sometimes evil is committed as a desperate reaction to the hardships one has endured. So it's best to just empathize and not villainize. With that said, we hope that you have enjoyed and cried after listening to me tell you the story of Ori and the Blind Forest. We hope that the lessons learned from today can be accepted and internalized by you guys. Do let us know in the comments down below what game you would like us to cover next, and also do remember to follow The Magic Rain on Facebook, Instagram and YouTube, and also my personal page on Facebook, Instagram and YouTube, and now TikTok, because suddenly my TikTok has been doing pretty well. For some reason, I'm not sure why. Thank you so much for watching. I'm your host Pudds. Stay original and awesome. You get it? Don't say no. Alright, that's all. Bye. Wait. Here. They. Okay, wait. A moment. As a desperate reaction. Winds and warmth. Oh, my hair. Okay.